Ladies and gentlemen, today let us embark on a journey into the heart of something profoundly simple yet remarkably powerful: faith. The kind of faith that does not tremble in the face of adversity, but stands firm, unshaken by life's storms. What is faith? Is it merely an abstract belief, something we recite in our prayers or read in holy books? Or is it something deeper, a foundation upon which we build not only our beliefs but our very lives? Faith is not the absence of doubt, it is the courage to trust in something beyond ourselves, even when the path is uncertain. And in a world so often swayed by doubt, fear, and change, the question is not whether faith is tested, but whether it can stand when everything else falls. Let us first understand that faith, unshakable faith, is not an innate quality that some are born with while others are not. It is, rather, a choice, a conscious decision to believe, even when belief seems difficult or even foolish. And it is this act of will, this daily renewal of trust, that forms the bedrock of unwavering faith. Consider the person who, in the midst of a storm, does not seek to outrun the tempest, but trusts that the anchor of their faith will hold them fast. It is not because they are free from fear or doubt, but because they understand that the storm will pass and their foundation will remain. This is the kind of faith that we must cultivate. Unshakable faith is rooted in truth. In the face of confusion, we find that there is something more than just the transient world we see around us. There is a deeper reality, one that exists regardless of our understanding, and it is to this reality that our faith is tethered. When we place our trust in things that are changeable, wealth, status, comfort, we build upon sand. But when we place our faith in the enduring truths of life, in what is just, in what is right, in what is good, we build upon the rock. But let us be clear, faith does not promise an easy path. To have unshakable faith does not mean that challenges will cease or that the road will become smoother. It means that in the trials we find strength, because our faith is in something greater than the circumstances. It means that when the darkness comes, we trust that light will follow, and even if it does not shine immediately, we know it will, eventually, break through. Faith is the confidence that something good exists beyond the immediate, even when we cannot yet see it. And here is the great paradox: unshakable faith thrives not in certainty, but in the acceptance of uncertainty. We must learn to walk by faith, not by sight. For it is in the moments when we cannot see where the path leads, when every step is a leap into the unknown, that we grow in our trust. Faith, then, is not the absence of questions, but the willingness to continue moving forward, even when the answers are not yet clear. So how do we cultivate this kind of faith? Start by embracing your doubts. Do not run from them. The questions that we have about life, about purpose, about suffering are not signs of weak faith, but of a faith that is growing. Questioning is part of the process, for through it we refine our understanding and deepen our trust. Second, act in faith. Faith is not something that exists only in the mind, it is lived out in our actions. To believe in something is not enough, we must walk in accordance with that belief, even when it feels like we are walking alone. In doing so, we prove to ourselves and the world around us that our faith is not just a passive sentiment, but a living force. And finally, remember that you do not walk this path alone. You are part of something greater, a story that has been unfolding long before you were born and will continue long after you are gone. In moments of doubt, it is helpful to remember that the struggle you face is not unique. Others have walked this path before, and they too have found that faith, when rooted in the right foundation, is a light that never fades. In conclusion, unshakable faith is not a perfect or easy thing to achieve. It is a process, one that involves choosing to trust even when doubt threatens to overwhelm. It involves seeing beyond the moment and placing our confidence not in the fleeting, but in the eternal. And it is through this faith that we find strength, not only to endure, but to thrive. May your faith be like a tree planted by streams of water, rooted firm and bearing fruit in every season of life. And may you always know that whatever comes your way, your faith will hold you fast, unshaken by the winds of change. Unshakable faith doesn't mean you have no doubts or fears. Rather, it is about having the courage to trust in something greater than your doubts, to move forward despite uncertainty. Faith is not about eliminating doubt, but choosing to act in spite of it. Faith that can withstand life's challenges is rooted in something deeper than fleeting emotions. It's built on values, truths, or principles that are constant, not on how we feel in a given moment. Strong faith remains steadfast, even when our emotions are in turmoil. Faith is an intentional act of will. It requires a decision to trust, especially when circumstances seem to challenge that trust. When it feels difficult to believe, choosing faith is a powerful act of determination and discipline. Faith is not irrational or without foundation. Unshakable faith is grounded in truth, whether it's the truth of personal experiences, moral principles, or spiritual beliefs. It is a trust based on what is real, even when it's not immediately obvious or visible. Faith doesn't remove problems from life. It doesn't guarantee that everything will be easy. However, it provides the strength and resilience to face challenges. When you have unshakable faith, you're able to endure hardships with courage, knowing that you are supported by something greater than yourself. Just as an anchor keeps a ship steady during rough waters, faith helps us stay grounded and secure during life's turbulent times. Faith provides a sense of stability, preventing us from being tossed about by emotions, fears, or external circumstances. Doubt is not something to fear or suppress. It's a natural part of the process of growth in faith. Questioning, wrestling with uncertainty, and seeking understanding are steps that refine and deepen our faith. It's not about avoiding doubt, but learning to navigate it. The durability of your faith is determined by the quality of its foundation. If your faith is built on transient or shaky things like worldly success, possessions, or temporary pleasures, it will falter when these things are challenged. A solid, unshakable faith is built on enduring principles like love, justice, or spiritual truths that never change. Faith that can withstand anything is based not on what is visible or immediate, but on something greater. This might be a belief in a higher power, a deep moral conviction, or the understanding that there is meaning beyond what we experience in the present moment. Unshakable faith sees beyond current circumstances to a bigger picture. Just as muscles grow stronger when they are exercised, faith strengthens when it is tested. Life's challenges and struggles are opportunities to deepen and develop faith. When everything is easy, faith may not be fully realized. It's through faith is not just an internal belief or sentiment, it requires action. True faith is shown in how we live, the choices we make, and the steps we take, even when we don't have all the answers. It's putting trust into practice through our daily actions. Faith doesn't eliminate challenges or hardship from our lives. Instead, its purpose is to give us the strength to face those challenges head-on. Faith empowers us to endure, grow, and emerge stronger from difficulties rather than avoiding them. Faith must be grounded in what is constant and unchanging, whether spiritual truths, core values, or universal principles, not on external conditions that fluctuate. Temporary circumstances, such as wealth or success, are fleeting, but enduring truths provide a foundation that stands firm through the test of time. Unshakable faith doesn't mean being fearless, but rather having the courage to act despite fear. Faith allows us to move forward in the face of uncertainty and anxiety, trusting that we will be supported even when we feel vulnerable. People with unshakable faith view challenges as opportunities for growth, learning, and transformation. While others may be overwhelmed by difficulties, those with faith believe that every setback can be a stepping stone towards something greater. Faith is most valuable when life is hard. Anyone can trust when things are going smoothly, but true, unshakable faith reveals itself in times of adversity, when circumstances challenge your belief. Faith shines brightest in the dark moments. Faith sees beyond the present struggles and believes in a greater good that will ultimately triumph. Even when faced with hardship or injustice, unshakable faith trusts that things will work out in the end for the greater good, whether it's in this life or beyond. Faith allows us to look beyond the surface of our circumstances and trust in the deeper truths we hold. It helps us focus on what is permanent, such as values, love, or spiritual truths, rather than getting lost in temporary, visible situations. Unshakable faith doesn't promise a life without difficulties. Instead, it's about trusting through the hardships. Even when we face pain, loss, or challenges, faith gives us the strength to persevere and stay grounded in our trust. Faith is built through daily, consistent choices to trust in something bigger than ourselves. These seemingly small decisions to act in alignment with our faith, whether it's showing kindness, maintaining hope, or choosing integrity, compound over time and make our faith unshakable. Life's storms, whether they are emotional, physical, or external, may shake us, but faith in the right foundation keeps us grounded. When our faith is anchored in truth, love, or a higher purpose, it holds steady through any challenge, preventing us from being completely knocked down by adversity. Unshakable faith doesn't come from having all the answers or knowing the outcome of every situation. It comes from trusting in a higher power or a greater wisdom that understands the bigger picture. Faith finds peace in knowing that we don't have to have all the answers, because there is trust in the one who does. Fear is a natural emotion, but faith has the power to transform that fear into courage. When we trust in something greater, fear becomes a stepping stone to bravery. Faith allows us to confront our fears and move forward, even when we are afraid. Faith is not just about knowing or intellectually agreeing with something. It's about a deep, personal conviction that guides our actions and decisions. It is a trust that runs deeper than our thoughts and is woven into the very fabric of who we are. Faith is not always a feeling or something that comes naturally, especially when doubt creeps in. In those moments, faith becomes a conscious choice, a decision to trust even when we don't feel like it. Choosing faith over doubt is a deliberate act that strengthens belief over time. Unshakable faith often requires us to take steps forward without knowing exactly where the path will lead. It is the willingness to walk into the unknown, trusting that the next step will reveal itself as we go, even when the full picture isn't visible yet. Faith encourages us to look beyond our limitations and place trust in something larger, whether it's a higher power, the universe, or a greater purpose. By doing so, we acknowledge that we are not in control of everything, and that there's something more expansive and wise at work. We can't control every aspect of life, and trying to do so only leads to frustration. Faith teaches us to trust in the natural unfolding of life, knowing that even when things don't go as planned, they are part of a greater journey that we are meant to experience. Faith often requires taking that first step towards something without knowing what the full journey will entail. It's like being asked to climb a staircase without being able to see the top, trusting that each step will be revealed as we go along. It's about moving forward despite uncertainty. Unshakable faith is about perseverance in the face of uncertainty. It means continuing to move forward toward your goals and dreams, even when the future is unclear or when challenges seem overwhelming. Faith allows us to trust that the path will become clearer as we progress, and that the future holds something worthwhile. The strength and longevity of your faith depend on what it's built upon. A faith founded on temporary things like wealth or status will crumble when those things are threatened. But faith rooted in deep, unchanging values, truths, or a spiritual foundation will endure through life's trials. Faith goes beyond emotions or temporary thoughts. It's an intentional choice we make with our will, even when we don't feel like it or when circumstances are difficult. Choosing to trust, even in the face of uncertainty, is what gives faith its strength and resilience. Faith isn't a one-time decision, but a continuous process of trusting. The more you trust the process of life, the more your faith develops. It's through experience, patience, and persistence that faith grows, allowing you to face greater challenges with confidence. There will be moments when the path forward is unclear or hidden, but faith can still guide you. It provides the trust that you'll be able to navigate even when you don't know exactly what lies ahead. It's about believing in the unseen and trusting that guidance will come when needed. Unshakable faith relies on what we know to be true values, convictions, or promises even when we don't see the full picture. It's trusting that even when parts of life are unclear or uncertain, the foundation of faith remains solid and reliable. Challenges are a natural part of life, and while they can shake us, faith provides the resilience to face them. It doesn't promise that life will be easy, but it ensures that we are equipped with the strength to navigate difficult situations with courage and persistence. With unshakable faith, setbacks are not viewed as failures but as opportunities for growth. Faith allows us to reframe challenges as part of a larger plan and helps us develop the resilience to bounce back stronger. Every setback becomes a lesson in perseverance and trust. Faith allows us to look at challenges and see the potential for growth and positive change. While others may view obstacles as insurmountable, faith gives us the vision to see opportunities within them. It helps us realize that every challenge is an opportunity to learn, evolve, and achieve something greater. Anyone can maintain faith when things are going smoothly, but real faith is demonstrated when life gets tough. Adversity is where faith is tested and strengthened. True, unshakable faith holds firm not in calm seas, but in the stormy waters of life. At its core, unshakable faith is rooted in the belief that no matter how dark the situation seems, good will ultimately prevail. It's the trust that, in the end, justice, love, and truth will triumph. Even in the face of hardship or evil, faith assures us that the good in life will prevail. Faith encourages us to look past the immediate, visible circumstances and trust in deeper truths. While our senses might tell us one thing, faith allows us to see beyond the surface to what is true on a higher level, whether it's trust in a greater purpose, belief in love, or spiritual convictions. Unshakable faith doesn't promise a life free of hardship. Instead, it teaches us to trust through the difficulties. Faith equips us to handle hardship with resilience, allowing us to maintain our trust and peace even when we are going through tough times. Building unshakable faith is a daily process created by small acts of trust in our everyday lives. Whether it's choosing integrity, showing kindness, or trusting the unknown, each choice to act on faith strengthens our belief over time and helps it grow. Life's storms, be they emotional, financial, or relational, can feel overwhelming, but when faith is rooted in a solid foundation such as spiritual beliefs, love, or core values, it remains unwavering. This foundation acts as a stabilizing force that keeps us grounded even during the most turbulent times. Unshakable faith doesn't come from having all the answers. It comes from trusting in something greater than ourselves, the belief that there is wisdom beyond what we understand. This trust provides peace, knowing that the bigger picture is already in motion, even when we don't fully comprehend it. Faith is transformative. When faced with fear, faith empowers us to act with courage. It helps us push past fear's limitations and step into situations with the confidence that we will be supported, protected, and guided through challenges. True faith is not just intellectual belief or understanding. It is a deep inner conviction that shapes how we act and live. It's a force that runs deeper than thought. It influences our hearts, minds, and choices, providing a strong foundation for us to stand on during trials. Doubt is inevitable in life, but faith in those moments is a conscious decision, not just a fleeting emotion. When doubt arises, we can choose to trust in our beliefs and principles, reaffirming our faith even when it seems difficult. Often we won't have all the answers or a clear roadmap, but faith calls us to move forward regardless. It's about taking that first step even when the destination is unknown, trusting that the path will reveal itself one step at a time as we keep moving forward. Unshakable faith involves surrendering to something greater than our own limited understanding. Whether it's trust in a higher power, universal forces, or the inherent goodness in people, faith allows us to place our trust in forces beyond our immediate control, empowering us to move forward with confidence. Unshakable faith is not a static state, but an ongoing journey of growth and transformation. It's about the continuous process of choosing to trust, learning from experiences, and deepening our beliefs over time. There is always room for growth and deeper understanding. Faith enables us to look beyond our immediate circumstances and trust that there is a larger plan at work. Even when the specific details are murky or confusing, faith allows us to believe that everything is unfolding for a greater purpose, even if we don't fully see it yet. In times of uncertainty or chaos, faith provides a sense of inner peace. While the world around us may be unpredictable, faith reminds us that there is stability in trusting that we are being guided, protected, and that things will work out as they are meant to. Faith becomes stronger when we reflect on past experiences where our trust was rewarded or we learned valuable lessons. Every moment of faith strengthens our ability to trust in the future and reinforces our belief that we can face whatever comes our way. One of the transformative powers of faith is its ability to help us forgive others, even when it seems impossible. Faith teaches us to trust that letting go of anger or resentment is a path toward healing and freedom, and that forgiveness is often a gift we give ourselves. In times of struggle, faith helps us find meaning and purpose in the midst of suffering. When we trust in a higher power or a greater good, we begin to understand that our hardships have a purpose, whether it's to strengthen us, teach us, or help others. Unshakable faith is the strength to take risks and venture into unfamiliar territory, even when the outcome is uncertain. It encourages us to leave our comfort zones and trust that, even in uncertainty, we will find the courage to move forward. When faced with challenges that seem insurmountable, faith provides the strength and perseverance needed to keep moving forward. It reminds us that giving up is not the answer, and that we have the inner resilience to continue on our journey, even in the toughest times. Faith is the root from which hope and optimism grow. When we trust in something greater, whether in the form of a higher power, a purpose, or an inevitable positive outcome, it fuels hope and the belief that things can and will improve, no matter how difficult the present moment may seem. Faith is not about sitting back and waiting for things to happen. It requires active engagement, making decisions, taking steps, and working toward what we believe in. Unshakable faith motivates us to act with purpose and intentionality, even when the path forward is unclear. Unshakable faith doesn't expect us to be perfect. Instead, it encourages trust in the journey and process of growth. We may make mistakes or encounter setbacks, but faith teaches us that the path is about progress, not perfection. It's about trusting that we are on the right course, even if we falter. Faith encourages us to appreciate the present moment, rather than anxiously waiting for the future or regretting the past. A grateful heart strengthens our faith by reminding us that, in this moment, we have everything we need to continue on our journey. Faith often requires believing in things that we cannot see or fully understand. It's trusting in what is invisible, the future, the potential for growth, the presence of support, and the good that is yet to unfold. Faith helps us to stay hopeful even when evidence is not immediately clear. Setbacks may initially feel like failures, but with unshakable faith, we can see them as setups for comebacks. Faith helps us reframe challenges as opportunities for learning and growth, believing that each obstacle has the potential to prepare us for something better ahead. Faith shifts how we view life's difficulties. Instead of seeing them as insurmountable problems, faith allows us to see them as opportunities for growth, learning, or even service to others. Faith helps us to see the positive aspects of every situation, even when it's hard to do so. Unshakable faith often thrives in a community of people who share similar beliefs. Faith helps us to build connections with others who can offer encouragement, support, and understanding, making it easier to navigate challenges together and remain strong in our beliefs. One of the key aspects of unshakable faith is the ability to surrender control. Life is full of unknowns, and faith teaches us to let go of the desire to control every outcome. Instead, it encourages us to trust that there is a greater plan at work and that we don't need to control everything to see success. Unshakable faith does not promise that we won't face pain or hardship. What it offers instead is the strength and resilience to endure it. Faith enables us to face suffering with grace, knowing that pain is temporary and we have the ability to endure and grow through it. In the darkest moments, faith empowers us to choose hope rather than succumb to despair. Even when life seems bleak, faith provides the inner strength to believe that something good can come from our struggles and that we can overcome challenges with hope in our hearts. Faith enables us to maintain inner peace. Even when the external world is full of chaos and turmoil, it teaches us that, despite external circumstances, we can remain grounded and at peace within ourselves, trusting that we are supported through life's storms.